Portland's largest plant-based Asian, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander heritage event is happening this Sunday, June 1st from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Red on Salmon Street. With over 50 vendors, there will be food, drinks, art, home goods, chef demos, lion dancers, and so much more. Plus, a portion of sales will benefit Asian advocacy nonprofit Apano, which is an awesome organization. To learn more, head over to their Instagram at VeganizerPDX. That's at VeganizerPDX. Today on CityCast Portland, it's all of our top picks for the month of June in food, entertainment, and everything in between. Joining me on the show are our very own producers, John Atariani and Julia Fiaioni. It's Thursday, May 29th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about.
Hello. Happy June.
John and Julia, thank you for joining me. And a special shout out to Biketown PDX for sponsoring this month's guide. If you're new to the show, our monthly guides are something we started doing here at CityCast Portland just to feel a bit more connected to our city because it's so easy to get stuck doing the same old, same old. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully after you listen to today's show, you're going to walk away with some new ideas for how to have the best June possible. And if you don't, find us. We'll say we're sorry.
We will.
We'll be like, I'm sorry, guys. I thought that was a good idea. All right, well, let's jump right in. What is this month's obsession or event that you're really excited about?
I can go first. Okay. I'm psyched about the return of Homie Fest. So this is a local music festival that has been put on by local musicians, very much for the local community. But it hasn't happened in about 7 years. The last iteration of this was back in 2018. They were planning another one for 2020, but of course we all know how that went. It's coming up on June 27th and 28th at Swan Dive down on Southeast Grand. So this has largely been organized by Poppy Fimbres, who is like so woven throughout the entire local music scene. He's been in a million bands and just sort of puts on this festival for, you know, the bands and friends. And it's super inclusive. And it's just going to be 2 days of really, really awesome live music coming up at the end of the month.
That's great. At one point, Poppy was the drummer for everyone's band. Even if you didn't know, like you just go and you're like, oh, I guess Poppy's my drummer now. Like I didn't, I wasn't aware.
You just look back mid-set and you're like, oh, I guess you're in the band now,
I guess
Poppy.
Poppy's in the band. No, he's an amazing drummer. But this used to be an overnight thing. Like you would go camping out in the woods. It was so much fun.
No way.
So now it's at an event space or like, I've never heard of Swan Dive.
It's across the street from Lollipop Shop.
It
used to be a Bit House Saloon, I think, once upon a time.
I'm just saying it's going to be a different vibe. I'm excited about it because sometimes I couldn't go because I was like, I can't spend the night.
Yeah, and that's what they said. Part of the decision to bring it into the city was because of accessibility questions, right? That there's a lot of people either who don't have cars or people with disabilities that weren't able to make it out for a camping event. So
Yeah. And it was also getting so popular that people were just like, I don't know if we want to host it in our yard anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it was like, at first it started like word of mouth. It was called Homie Fest because it was just a bunch of homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyhow, what about you, Julia?
So I'm really looking forward to Sunday Parkways happening in the Cully neighborhood in Northeast on June 29th this month. Ooh. So if you've never heard of Parkways before, it's a part of a series of free pedestrian-focused street activation events hosted by the city of Portland, happening throughout the summer in different neighborhoods. And basically, each event features a neighborhood biking, skating, running, walking route that includes different greenways and parks featuring vendors and community groups, food and entertainment, music, you know. So you can start anywhere on the route, walking or biking, really anything that isn't a motor vehicle, and explore the route loop to catch all the fun that's happening throughout. And I'm shouting out the Northeast Cully event specifically because we're gonna be there. Surprise, surprise.
We are?
Yeah, we're gonna be there. I know, Claudia, I heard your ooh, and I was like, I don't think Claudia knows we're gonna be there.
I did not. And I'm sure John's just like, I told you.
It's very much on your calendar, Claudia.
I sent you an invite.
You have confirmed on
Did
Google
I?
Calendar.
We're all gonna be there.
I guess I'll be in town.
So again, it's happening on June 29th. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a 6-mile looped route that stops at Fernhill Park, Conamusk Park, Wellington Park, and Roseway Parkway. And we'll be set up somewhere along the route. So come say hi to us. We'll probably have a treat for you, maybe some stickers, maybe even a question to ask you to be featured in a future episode. I'm really excited. I had so much fun last year. Are you guys excited now that you know, Claudia? Are you excited?
Wow, on the spot. Yeah, of course. I love parkways. The only thing about setting up and being there is that we all have to kind of, we're carrying stuff. And so I can never really bike there.
Last year, I brought my bike on the back of my car, and it's like I'm not lazy. I had to bring a tent and a table. There's a reason.
Yeah, I will say if you are looking for ways to get more involved in an event like this, because it is just a blast, they're still looking for volunteers. So if you're interested, we're going to throw that link in the show notes.
Yeah, cool. Well, I love that plug, by the way. It's a little self-serving, but I will allow it.
Hey, I'm excited, okay?
Okay, no, I believe you. I believe you. So for longtime Portlanders, I think we all know that June means the start of the Portland Rose Festival. It lasts through June 8th. There's parades, a city fair, Fleet Week, which I know John and I really enjoy. And of course, the dragon boat races, which if you haven't been, you got to go. It's free. It's a 20-plus year tradition. More than 60 different teams, local, national, international, all compete on the Willamette. And there's usually a beer garden. It's so much fun. I know we have a lot of listeners that are new to the city, so I just wanted to flag that June to most of us means, Portland Rose Fest activities, and we're going to link to that calendar in our show notes. But I also wanted to share that this June is the home team championship for the Rose City Rollers. On June 7th, our 4 local women's roller derby teams will be competing for the crown. You can go cheer for either the High Rollers, the Heartless Heathers, the Breakneck Betties, or the Guns N' Rollers, Bad Girls. If you haven't been to a roller derby match yet, it's your duty as a citizen of Portland to go at least once. And the championships are something else. Just know that the matches are held at the hangar at Oaks Park. It's family friendly. There's food and drinks, but it's like how bringing your kids to an all ages show is family friendly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Just be aware.
They're allowed, but it's not necessarily for them.
Yeah, but
Yes.
they're allowed. And there are children that are get so into it. And there's actually like a children's league of this. So like,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm really excited. Have you guys been? I know, Julie, you've been to a derby match, right?
No, I haven't been
Oh
yet.
my God.
I
Get
really
outta
have
here.
to go. I should get out of here and go.
John?
I have. I enjoy going to watch roller derby because I get the experience of watching a sport happen and being like, I have no idea what's going on. I have no
It's a
frame
good
of
feeling.
reference. I don't know who's in charge. I am just along for the
Where are
ride.
they going?
It's so funny. Yeah, I feel like every time you need a refresher on YouTube. And then when it happens, when you get it, when it clicks, you're like, I get it.
Oh, that's fun.
There's the jammer, Anyhow, okay. So I had a bonus pick, but John, I know you also have a bonus pick because it was submitted by Biketown, our sponsor. I'm very excited about this one.
I want to throw in a bonus pick from our sponsor of the month, Biketown. Those are those orange bike racks that you see all over the city that have e-bikes that I think are actually super fun because you can just sort of like pop around the city and jump on one and then jump off where you're going. The pick is 3 ideas of river loops that you can do riding a Biketown bike around the city. Starting from the Steel Bridge, if you want to do just like a short loop, you can go along and go to the Hawthorne Bridge and back around. You'll get to ride on that like really cool floating path, on the east side. A little bit further would be a loop all the way to the Tillicum Bridge, which is a pedestrian-only bridge, which makes it extra fun to ride your bike over. And for the big guy, a long bike ride all the way from the Steel Bridge down to the Selwood Bridge and back. Because doing that one, you get to go through Oaks Park as well. So
And
3
go
ideas
see a
for
roller
you.
derby match.
And you could go see roller derby.
It's right there.
Pick up a new one on the way home.
Yeah. Oh my, I've never been on these bikes, and I didn't know that Peabot actually manages this program. For some reason in my head, I always thought it was Nike, but they just sponsor it. It's actually a city thing, and I don't know why. That just made it cooler for me. I was like,
I
oh,
didn't know that
that's
either.
awesome. I know.
Well, we do have a special code as well. New riders can use the code CityCast25, and that will get you a free unlock of a Biketown bike.
Oh,
so
that's
cool.
awesome.
you don't need to call an Uber or a Lyft. Just jump on a bike and you get to see the city in a different way. It's super fun.
All right, well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, our picks for food, drink, and so much more.
You don't need to use an oversized AI model for everything, just like you don't need to use an axe to slice a cake. Find out how smaller models can deliver the right results and help cut AI costs up to 90% at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM. Great solos don't make a symphony. In music or AI, get AI that's in tune with your business at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
All right, guys, it's our picks for what to eat and drink for the month. Julia, bring us in.
All right. I got a pick for Bellwether Bar in the North Tabor neighborhood, which is pretty close to Mount Tabor. It's inside this historic building that was built in 1910, and it looks like it's like a courthouse, but I looked into it, and it was actually operated as a drugstore throughout the early 1900s by a guy named Thomas Graham. And I mention this because he moved here to Portland in 1891 from Ontario, Canada, which is where I'm from. So I'm like, hey. I did go there recently, and their cocktails are really great. They have also a lot of really tasty veggie dishes. When I went, I got the harissa roasted cauliflower and the house salad, which is full of all these different fresh herbs, and the dressing was amazing. I specifically got their cocktail called the Number 73, which is a smoky tequila, cilantro, strawberry, green chili drink, which immediately caught my eye. It's like the perfect summer drink. I ended up getting 2. But I sat on their front patio. They only have a few chairs out there. And the cutest part about it was at this point in the evening, the sun was just setting and there was recently a rainstorm. So out of nowhere, this like double rainbow came out across right out the front of the storefront. And all of the employees came out all at once to just stand and look at it. And it was so cute. And it just made me feel like the camaraderie there was really positive. And I don't know, I really like being at a bar where I feel like the workers are having a nice time. So that really just like cemented it as a new favorite place to me. Claudia, I know you've been before. Do you remember what kind of a drink you got when you were there?
I don't, to be honest. I just remember I had a salad and I sat there with my dog right in the front where you were at. It was very cute. I feel like if you live in that neighborhood, if I lived in that neighborhood, it would definitely be my neighborhood spot.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And they have such a lovely back porch area too.
Totally. Yeah, it's a great summer spot.
And like no shade at like new construction bars, but I've been there too. And it's just when you go into it, you just feel how old that building is. And there's something really lovely about just the feel of that space that I remember really clearly.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Cool. What about you, John?
Yeah, so this is a new to me of somewhere that I've been plenty of times before, but had a sort of new experience with it recently. Bless Your Heart Burger on 33rd and Northeast Killingsworth. Great smash burgers, well known, but something that I'd never really ducked into until fairly recently was their hot dog menu. I feel like it is surprisingly difficult to find a real knockout hot dog in this town. And I just want to call out the hot dogs at Bless Your Heart Burger as being extraordinary. They are gigantic. So they had this one, a Bless Your Heart dog, which is basically a chili dog with like
chili
onions and ketchup and chili, but also like a beer cheese sauce.
Oh,
But the really crazy one was a down and dirty dog. Griddled onions, peppers, mushrooms, cheese sauce, ranch, and barbecue spice.
No.
This is not an everyday meal. This is not a like every Wednesday sort of snack, but you know there's going to be one day over the summer, possibly in June when it's starting to get real warm out and you're like, I just want like a banger hot dog. This is the place to go.
This seems like the perfect spot to hit after a long bike ride.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Hopefully
Yeah.
close to home at that point.
Yeah, 'cause
because
you're
I don't
like,
know how far you're going to make with a gut full of hot dog on your bicycle.
I
But with
live
an
here
e-bike,
now.
with a Biketown e-bike,
Oh my God.
Oh, boo.
Did you just boo our sponsor, Julia?
I'm booing John.
no, that was
Oh,
definitely a
okay.
boo for me.
Which one did you eat?
I had the chili dog one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love chili dogs. Do you guys all like chili dogs?
Oh my
yeah.
God, yeah.
Okay, here's why I think we're friends. Because there are so many people out there. No, I'm not joking. I feel like there is like a kind of like a Venn diagram of people who like oysters and chili dogs. And to me, they're like the coolest people in the world. And I just feel like there's so many people that are like, ew, a chili dog or ew, an oyster. And us three, that would be the restaurant we would go to if they were just like, we sell chili dogs and oysters. We would be so, how excited would we be?
A real business opportunity out there
God,
for the
that sounds
enterprising
incredible.
It's so
restaurateur.
incredibly phallic. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry.
That's how we do it at CityCast Portland.
I've just seen the restroom doors. Never mind. Yeah, so my pick this month is actually a pop-up that I heard from Brooke Jackson Glidden over at Portland Monthly. It's called Met la Pile. So it's happening Thursdays through Sundays at an event space on Gleason called Shea. It's kind of deep northeast. So here's the chef behind it. This is why I'm excited. It's Republica chef Jose Lalo Camarena and his partner, who's a pastry chef, Katia Camarena. And their spot is going to focus on Sinaloan seafood. I don't know if you know about Sinaloa at all. Do you guys know that region?
No, not specifically.
Not as
the
a
seafood
culinary
at all.
region.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where Mazatlan is. They have a huge coastal area, so they're known for their seafood. And I think you guys know that, like, my mom is from Baja, so I grew up on, like, Baja seafood, but my bio dad is from Sinaloa. And so in the summers, I would go there and eat fish on the Mazatlan coast, and it's a very specific way that they make it in these clay ovens. It's like crazy. And they're known for their aguachiles. And so this is what this dude is going to do, but he's also like leaning into some Japanese influences. And his whole deal is that he's featuring hand-processed masa. If you don't know what that means, is that dude is going to be grinding corn by hand, which is going to be crazy. So met la pile refers to this like cylindrical stone tool used with a metate, which is like a grinding stone. It's just volcanic rock. And so you can kind of taste that. You can taste the stone in a good way, you know? And the dishes look amazing, you guys. So they're serving dry aged hiramasa dressed in an epazote de chile verde and served with like this salsa macha. I don't know if you guys know what salsa macha is. It's so delicious. It's like Mexican chili crisp. All that sitting on tostadas made with this hand ground corn. There's going to be ice creams and sorbets. They had one that was like an horchata and strawberry helado ice cream. And then an hoja santa, which is like this Mexican pepper leaf sorbet. And I'm like, okay, I got to try that.
That sounds so special.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the photos in this Portland Monthly article, and it looks incredible.
It's stupid.
It's like
so
the place to
good.
be.
Yeah. But yeah, so maybe, I don't know, something we could do along the line. I'm not trying to tip the scales here of what we're going to pick to
We
all do at the
already
end.
love it, okay?
But
You
I'm
don't
just
have to rub it
saying.
in.
All right, okay, here we go.
For inviting us. That's very generous of you.
All right, now let's get to the most useful part of the guide, the hack of the month.
Who are you designating as first hacker? I feel like
Okay, well, usually I ask Julia to go first because I feel like every time that she goes second, she gets upset, you know?
I throw a fit.
She throws a fit. And for new listeners, just know that this is the one part of the guide that we're all the most competitive. We want to be the most helpful. It's like we're like annoying toddlers trying to hold something for you. Don't just put it down. For you, here. Okay, so you've never been around a toddler, John? All right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're
Yeah.
very helpful. All right. So, Julia, let's have you go first. I always go last. I don't know why. Should I go first?
go for
Are
it,
you
Claudia.
feeling?
I'm
are
going
you feeling
crazy.
it? You
Go
should go
first, Claudia.
first.
Should I go first?
Oh my
I've
god!
never gone first.
Go
It's your
first.
time. You got a good one.
Take
Oh,
it
you think
away.
so?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, well that makes me confident because you are the king of hacks. All right, here we go. If you don't own a car or just hate driving, but want to get to the coast, Portland has 3 buses that can take you to the coast. The Point Bus goes from Portland to Astoria and back, stopping along the way in Seaside, Cannon Beach, and there's other stops. There's the Northwest Connector Bus that takes riders from Portland to Tillamook and beyond. And then starting Memorial Day weekend, this is the one that I'm really excited about, there's going to be a new weekend bus service, the North Coast Express. It's supposed to be like the quickest way to get out there, and it's going to take travelers between Portland, Astoria, Seaside, Cannon Beach, Rockaway Beach, and the Tillamook Creamery.
Oh my
and
God.
Unlike your car, this new bus service is going to have Wi-Fi and bathrooms.
Let's go.
Most of these buses also will allow for you to bring your bikes and small pets. You guys,
It's literally
come
perfect.
on.
It's amazing.
I gotta tell you guys, I love going to the coast. I hate driving to the coast.
Yeah.
And the only tickets I've gotten in my life have been me driving perfectly normal
Oh, yeah.
at a perfectly normal speed.
Is this on your way to the coast or from the coast? Or is it along the coast?
It is just all over the coast. It's been in Astoria.
That's why you don't have is this why you don't drive, Claudia? Has your license been revoked?
No,
Because of your wild coast driving?
Rumors.
Dude, you know what's so sad? The last time I got pulled over in Astoria is because I was just trying to make this. They sell this really good bread in Astoria, but they always sell out. And there was the slowest person in front of me, and I was like, "Get out! I gotta get my freaking braided bread,
so
my cardamom
embarrassing.
bread." And I basically did like a fancy I'm gonna whoop around, and I did it in front of there was just a police person there, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And I told them about the bread, and they're like, "It's good. It is." $200 later.
Oh my God.
I know. Anyhow, you won't have to do that if you take the bus.
You know, I have plans with a friend of mine to head out to the coast some weekend this month, and we both don't have cars, so I think this is gonna have to be the move.
It's so cool. Oh, man. Well, that was my hack, guys.
Pretty nice.
Pretty damn good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll rip off the Band-Aid. Here we go. So I am talking about wedding season, which is very quickly approaching. I find that as I've gotten older, so many more of my friends are getting married. And typically it's just when the weather is nice. So it's the spring to summer season. And basically, I'm trying to find a more fun way to shop for a wedding dress. And this time I want to challenge myself to dress in something that's secondhand vintage. This is all for a wedding I'm going to in June for my friend Andrea. But I do have a curated list of spots that you too can check out to find your wedding or fancy attire for whatever occasion you're going to this summer, because I know most folks have something they got to dress up for. So to start, my first pick is Hello Sunshine, which is on East Burnside. It's owned by two sisters. It's been around for a few years. It's very queer friendly. There's a pretty big selection. Many of the fancy attire options are very bright and fun. The price range is pretty reasonable. There's also just a really good selection of both more masculine and more feminine outfits. And one thing I love about that shop too is they have a lot of handmade jewelry. My second pick is Goodbye Horses Vintage, which is owned by two friends, opened on Northeast 28th in the past year. More limited selection, mostly feminine options, but pretty affordable pricing. And they also have some handmade clothes there too, which is really cool. My third is Magpie Vintage on Southeast Hawthorne, which has been around for 25 years, and they have a good variety of both feminine and masculine clothing options. Great spot for accessories too, also very reasonably priced. The environment in that shop's a little bit more chaotic, but in a really fun way. And then the last pick is a place I've never been to before, and this is for I want to ball out, I want to go big. It's called Exta Bay, and it's on Southeast Clinton. They've been around since 2001. Their selection's very limited and the cost is pricey, but it really is, if you want to make the experience special, you can get your own private shopping experience for $35 a person if you really want to go in. They're open on the weekends. It's super boutique, but it's really special, and it's just a way to make the whole experience memorable and also find just a really, really beautiful dress. But I have plans to go and check out all these spots to dig for a dress for myself over the next few weeks. And I'm just excited to go and do that. I feel like sometimes preparing for a wedding can feel like such a drag. And to make it fun is now something I'm looking forward to. And it just kind of adds to the trip. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Extra Bay? Extra Bay? I want to say Extra Baby. I'm just going to call it
Extra Baby.
I'm just going to call it Extra Baby.
It is extra.
Yeah, these dresses are beautiful.
They're incredible.
There are no prices on these dresses, and I feel like that is an intentional choice.
I did do some digging. Their prices on their website, less expensive than you would think, but definitely, like, I would say, reminds me of like the type of move that our regular contributor, Eden Dawn, would do. She would go dress fabulous to even go buy the dress and then buy a very, very fancy special dress to just show out the whole crew.
Okay,
So
I'm looking at it right now, and it says followed by Eden Dawn.
there we go. I knew it.
This is one of the most Eden Dawn coded Instagram pages I've seen for
Yeah,
sure.
it's pretty incredible.
Like, they're gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably go check out the other places you shouted out. Oh man, what about you, John? What's your hack? Also,
Yeah.
Julia, excellent hack.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am veering in a very different direction, though. One of the things that I've always been curious about, but don't have the first inkling of understanding of how to go about doing is fishing. You know, like there's rivers and lakes everywhere around here, but it always has sort of felt like fishing is one of those things that somebody knows how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you don't get to do it.
Yeah.
Like you need a license to go fishing. I didn't know that. But the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife hosts free fishing weekends every year where you don't need a license to fish or crab or clam or anything. They do this a couple times a year. And the next free fishing weekend is coming up on June 7th and 8th. So you can just like take out your pole and like take a go of it. And they have classes that they're hosting across the state where they're going to teach people how to sort of do newbie fishing, right? The closest one is at Silverton Marine Park in Silverton, Oregon. It's from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's family friendly, and they're just going to have Department of Fish and Wildlife folk on hand to teach you how to fish if you never have before. So that's sort of your chance to get in and get fishing. But if you can't make it out that weekend, I did do a little bit of research on like what you need to know to be able to get started going fishing in Oregon. Well, there is an annual angling license that you can get from Oregon. It is $44 for the year. And then you sort of need to know where to go. And I found this great list that features different zones of the state and tells you what you need to know about fishing in each of these areas. So we're sort of in the Willamette zone around here. And on this website that I'll link to in the show notes, they have a bunch of places to go and like tips on which fish to go after and tips for fishing specifically in this region. So some of the places that they recommend that are really good for fishing are Timothy Lake, St. Louis Ponds, Benson Lake, North Fork Reservoir, Henry Hagg Lake, and then they got a whole bunch more recommendations as well. So if you want to get started fishing in Oregon, start your own seafood pop-up maybe. Yeah.
Did you look at me when you said that? Was that
Yeah,
was that
I
for me?
mean,
Or do you
Claudia's
want-
like, no, I'm gonna let the experts do it. But yeah, you know, just enough information to get you out there and into the wilderness and hopefully catching your own fish.
Wow. John, I promise you that if you bring me a fish, I will do a fish pop-up just for you.
Oh my god, just a single
pop-up
fish
for one?
pop-up.
A single fish.
Wait. I want like let's slow this down. You mean if I bring you a fish, you will sit me down, and cook me a meal, and serve me, and make me drinks?
Yeah.
Julia,
Drinks.
are you in for this?
I will catch a
I will
fish
totally
and
do
bring
it.
it over. Easy. Easy.
Why don't you
Claudia,
catch us some beer?
You're on.
Dude, I actually grew up fishing. It was like the only thing I actually learned how to do from my bio dad. He would wake me up at like 4 a.m. when I was 5.
Oh my gosh.
And so I loved fishing when I was a little kid, but I grew up in East LA. And so if I get cancer, I
That's
need
why.
you to know that it was all the catfish that I ate from Leg Lake, which I used to call Lake, still do. Pretty sure, yeah, you're not supposed to eat the fish from East LA.
Yeah. You know, I can relate to that too. I grew up fishing and we used to catch some pretty gnarly looking pike from this pretty rundown lake out in Ontario. There's a lot of leeches in that lake, but it's one of my favorite memories. And it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, well, my Zeo Mike doesn't live right down the street, so I can't fish anymore. But it's like, no, I can go out and fish on my own. So thanks, John. This is a nice
it's a
one.
really good reminder.
Yeah.
Oh my God, John, are you going to get a fishing, I'm like showing you, I'm pantomiming. Are you going to get one of these?
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to put this on my summer bucket list. This is something I'd really like to learn how to do.
Oh, that's
I want to
awesome.
see a picture of you holding a fish. Finally, John. Finally. You can join the pantheon of Northwest men.
Yeah, for internet dating men across the world.
Oh, man, that's so cool. You guys, hey, excellent hacks. We're getting to that point of the show where we decide which is our favorite, what we're going to do together. Does anyone have an idea of which one we could all knock out? Because I have one. I have an idea.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to go for the one that we already agreed that we're going to do together, which is Sunday Parkways.
Okay. This is the laziest one. The one we
We've
have
already
to do.
committed
The one
to
that we committed to doing.
Oh man, isn't that pop up on the weekends though? Can't we go
But
to
I'll bring
Sunday
hot
Parkways
dogs.
and then?
No, the pop-up is
hey,
Wednesday.
you know what else? You know what else is right by Cully?
God damn it.
Oh no.
Is it a chili dog, John?
Yeah, I'll bring chili dogs.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean,
Now that you mention
no,
it,
you know what? I
doesn't
did a
sound so
chili dog.
bad.
I was hoping that we could expense a pop-up dinner, a $5,000 pop-up dinner.
Claudia,
for
we
the
just
whole
went
team.
through a membership drive. We don't want people to know that's how we're using their money.
So that's so funny. It's like, why are they? I always see them at pop-ups.
they need too much money to make this thing happen. Where is it all going?
I'm like, see, it's hand ground masa, y'all. You don't
It's the
understand.
real deal, guys.
You can
Come on.
really taste the difference. All right, so I'm loving it. That's what we'll do. We're getting chili dogs at the Parkway.
That's it. You're all invited.
I sound like I'm upset just because I really wanted a free pop-up meal, but as John shook his head hard, that is not an expense we can cover.
Just eat your chili dog and be grateful.
Yeah, we're gonna have a free pop-up at Claudia's.
The one fish pop up.
The one fish pop-up.
One fish pop-up.
See you there.
Oh, awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We hope that this guide is useful to you. And if you're doing something really cool this June that we didn't shout out that's happening around in the city, please let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Hit us up at portland@citycast.fm.
Totally, yeah. And check out Hey Portland, our newsletter that Rachel Monahan puts together with event listings every single day. So much cool stuff in there if you're looking for more ideas about what to do.
Just another shout out to Biketown PDX for sponsoring this month's guide. And yeah, guys, thanks again for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia.
Thank you.
Before we head out, I wanted to give a big thank you to our newest CityCast Portland neighbors, Ann C., Tanya M., Lisa A., Michaela B., Kristen H., Ryan S., Leah F., Anna R., Carrie F., Kayla K., Ruth C., and Edward P. You too can become a CityCast Portland neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. It's just $10 a month for ad-free listening, members-only perks, and helping us keep this all going. That's membership.citycast.fm. Thank you so much.